Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be taking a look at Anakin Skywalker from the Order of the Jedi collection. This figure was made by Sideshow Collectibles, so he is a 1/6 scale or 12-inch scale figure. And because of this, because he's so much bigger than a normal figure, it may take me a little bit longer to get things into frame and everything. So that's just a little disclaimer before I start. So let's go ahead and jump into the review. Put him off to the side so we can look at the packaging. Here on the front, it's got a picture of the action figure and a picture of the actual actor in the background here. I believe his name is Hayden Christensen, if I remember correctly. And then down here at the bottom, it's got the Sideshow exclusive sticker. Here on the side, again, another picture of the figure. On the back, it's got another picture of the figure here, and then some pictures from the movie, and then some other figures that were released in this wave. And then again, just another picture of the figure. Then if you, let's see here, where's the little flap? There we go. You can open this packaging up. There's a piece of tissue paper in there to keep it from scratching. Here's the window, and the box is actually held together by magnets. So that kind of shows you the quality and the effort that they go to make these figures nice. But there's a huge description over here. I'll let you pause the video if you'd like to read that. And let's see. That should be about all of it, I'm pretty sure. And over here, more description. Again, if you'd like to read that, just pause the video. Alright, so as you can see, there is a window on this side where the accessories were displayed, and here's where the figure was displayed. Now you'll notice there's some black stuff stuck to the inside of the packaging there. That's actually part of the faux leather tunic. Unfortunately, with a lot of faux leather products, they tend to not age well, and especially I bought this figure well after it was well after it had been released, so he was the faux leather isn't holding up that great, but I think if you take care of it, it should be fine, but it will chip just a little bit if you don't take care of it. So let's go ahead and look at the figure itself again. Really cool looking. I think they nailed the likeness. Pull them up closer so you can actually see it. I think they nailed the likeness, and I really like the hair sculpt and everything. But before I talk about it too much, I do want to show off the accessories. He does have a lightsaber, and I'll show off the hilt here in more detail. It's the same as the unignited one, but a nice translucent blade. It's not too clear. It's kind of frosted, which I really like. So that looks good. I'll put him off to the side here. Like I said, he does come with the unignited hilt, which just looks amazing. Great detail. He comes with a hologram of the Emperor. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with this. It's well made and everything, I just don't know how you display it, because he doesn't have a hologram projector that I feel like is large enough for this, so I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with it, but it is made of a fairly translucent plastic. It's not like clear, again, like his lightsaber, but it is like if you hold it up to the light, it is clear. He comes with his robot arm without the glove. And I'll go ahead and go through the articulation here. So he's got a swivel here in the wrist, a swivel down here, and a double jointed elbow, and then there'd be a swivel where you put it into the arm. So not the greatest range. I wish that they had put a ball hinge in the wrist here, but they didn't. And this isn't how I prefer to display him, so it's not a huge deal. But there is a lot of detail on this arm, and I do think it looks very nice. He comes with an interchangeable hand, so just an open palm instead of the lightsaber gripping hand. Again, nice detail. He's got the, I think this is called a rebreather, just like the one that comes with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Nice detail. I don't know what you're supposed to do with it, but I'm glad they included it. He has the communicator, Nice detail again. And he's got a hologram projector. It's really small though. And it's got some, if it'll focus, there we go. It's got some like sticky tack on the back so you can smush it onto his hand and have it stick there. Like I said though, I'll hold it up next to the Emperor. It just seems too small to produce that. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but it just seems to me like this would go on a table or something, so I'm not sure what they expect you to do with it. So now that we looked at all of his accessories, let's go ahead and look at the figure itself. Oh, I should mention he does come with a Star Wars base as well, like all of the other Sideshow Collectibles figures. So he stands, let's see here, about 12.5 inches tall. I think Hayden Christensen is a pretty tall guy, so I think that's fairly accurate. And I want to go ahead and show off the outfit a little bit too before I go into the articulation. A really amazing job. Even though it did kind of chip here on the faux leather, I still think it looks great. So really impressed with the quality. And this is an older Sideshow Collectibles figure. So if you think too that this guy, when he came out, was half the price, under half the price that the Hot Toys ones are going for now. So a really great deal when he came out originally. So as far as articulation goes, he's got a swivel at the top of the neck, and then there's a ball peg that lets his head move around. So it's not the greatest range of motion, but it does maintain the sculpt of the neck, which I do appreciate. He's got ball hinge shoulders. They will swivel 360, but the clothing does kind of limit that. He's got double jointed elbows, and it's hard to see because of his clothing. I think there might be a cut joint in the bicep. It's hard to tell, but you can swivel his arm like this. And he's got a tiny little ball peg with a hinge in the wrist, so his hand does swivel and you can move it up and down. And on this side, on his glove hand, it's the same up until the elbow, and then there's just a swivel in the wrist. That's because obviously his glove, they didn't want to break up the sculpt, so that's why it's just the swivel, and it does work well enough, so I'm fine with it. He's got a swivel in the waist. It seems like he's got a diaphragm joint as well. Just because of the clothing though, I don't think you're going to get the most use out of it. He's got T-jointed hips with a great range of motion, a thigh swivel, and double jointed knees. And he does have these high boots again, so it's just the swivel down in the ankle. So obviously you're not going to get, unless you do actual material boots or you break up the sculpt, you're not going to get any articulation in the ankles. So I'm glad they went this route. I think it looks fine, and especially for the price point, I think it's definitely acceptable. So I do want to mention, because I had it sitting here in front of the camera, so I almost forgot, he does come with a cloak. It's a dark brown. It's the same as Obi-Wan Kenobi's as far as I can tell, and it's got a wire in the hood here, so you can pose it a little bit more dynamically over his face. That's the last accessory, I promise. So really a great figure. I know a lot of people don't like Hayden Christensen as an actor. Personally, I didn't have a problem with him. I think this figure looks great, and I think anybody who enjoyed Episode 3 should definitely pick him up. I found him on Amazon for a fairly reasonable price, and I think you should be able to as well. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comments section below, and I guess I'll see you later.